right, so as promised, here is the secret topic. Man, go ahead and put on your seatbelts. Let's see what we got. And oops, here we go. Oops, here we go. And tell me who wants to go first. Let me know what y'all think. Who was the best player on them going to work Pistons teams? The picture's
Ooh,
right in front of you. Take your pick and go.
Ooh,
ooh.
oh,
I go
that is
first. My
that is
favorite
tough.
player out of that group was Rip. To me, that was just my favorite player. But if I
Best,
had to go
best.
right, that's what I'm saying. If I had to go with the best player, to me it had to be Chauncey, man,
Yeah.
because the way he controlled the team, he made big shots
Mm,
when needed. Without Chauncey, it'd be hard to get like Rip the ball because he coming off them screens. Chauncey took over when he needed to. Like when we was going in the drought, he had that takeover mentality, and he's just like the motor for the team. So if I had to pick one man, I had to go with Chauncey.
All right.
Mm,
I'm gonna go a different route. So I like what Caddy said because Chauncey my favorite Piston of that going to work team. But I'm gonna say Ben was probably the most crucial piece to our success because that defense, man, him being the anchor of our defense really got us over the hump against some of those tough teams like New Jersey, um, Indiana in the playoffs, man. Like Chauncey was crucial, but Ben was like that anchor of our defense, man. Him and Sheed and that paint and him stopping Shaq, man. Like that was crucial slowing Shaq down in that finals, man. So I would say
all right,
Ben
y'all. That's
first.
the end of the show again. John want to play.
But I'll say Ben Wallace, man. I love Chauncey the most, but I'm gonna say Ben's probably the most crucial piece.
Yeah.
mm.
If I should go with one, I gotta agree with John. The identity of those going to work Pistons was the defense. And if you're gonna go with the most important player when those blocks, those rebounds, those defensive player of the years, those first team like the list goes on. So um to realize his importance, because yes, we went back to back finals, won one, lost the next one. And then that '06 Eastern Conference finals when he Shaq was still kind of Shaq, but he wasn't to an extent. But yeah, the Pistons fall into the Heat, and then that following year, him going to Chicago, you seen the shift, and the that defense wasn't the same anymore. I mean, granted, they were still good. I mean, when Flip Saunders got here, because that was Larry Brown got out of here after the second NBA Finals, and then Flip Saunders came when we fell to Miami, and then but we were still good. We just wasn't those defenders. And that's because Ben Wallace was in a Chicago Bulls jersey. So, in regards to what the identity was, is Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So what I was just gonna say is like that 2004 Pistons squad. No, we're never gonna see a team like that ever again because those five guys brought something different to the table. For me, Chauncey was like the brains of the whole operation. He knew how to orchestrate the offense and then take over the offense when needed. And then Rip was just the motor, the engine. He's just nonstop running, coming off screens, just throwing the ball, and he'll hit you with that mid range shot all day long. And then Tayshawn was just like the glue guy. You could plug him in wherever, and whatever you ask him to do, he'd do the job well. And then Rashid was that final piece that we needed to bring us over the top. He brought that swagger and that toughness that we needed. And then obviously, as everyone was just saying, Ben was the defensive anchor of that 04 squad. And I do agree that the overall identity of that team was defense. But if I had to pick who the best player was, man, honestly it was a toss up between Chauncey and Ben. But I am leaning a little bit more towards Ben because he embodied that defense that I'm talking about.
Zach ass named them all and then gave two. But
No, but I picked one.
I'm just picking Zach. But all right.
I
So
picked
I got
one, man.
so I'm surprised. I'm surprised nobody said she or Tayshawn. But and that's so
Mm.
a bonus debate topic. Who could they win without? Who could they win that championship without? Tayshawn or she, and you got to pick one.
Mm,
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a tough question. That's
yeah,
tough.
that's
That's tough.
I'm gonna start off. I say she because they did have Mimino Kerr at that time, who was nice. He was still young, but she was
Mimi cure a core.
he he was
Uh,
straight younger though, man. He was nice, so he was actually nice. So, but
Y'all not gonna pick
Tayshawn, you
Will?
can't play Tayshawn though, man. Tayshawn was too hard to replace though, man, fellas. We would have had no Tayshawn Prince, you probably wouldn't have won, bro.
I don't know if we would have had Melo.
That's true. That's
That's
that's the missing piece with Melo. If Melo would have been here, we don't would need Tayshawn. That's true.
If I got to pick one, I would go Sheed. We got to think about the road leading up to it. Now, yes, she was the piece. But like the framework of those Pistons starting in 2000, what was that?
Twelve to two.
2002. Yeah. When we first got to the playoffs, Ben Wallace was there. I mean, you had Jerry Stackhouse on the offensive end doing all the scoring. Ben was on the that's when he grew into the defensive juggernaut and did his thing in that regard. The next year, that's when Chauncey got here and Tayshawn. Tayshawn pretty much emerged as in the playoffs. I remember him making some key defensive plays, and even he made like the last second. I was at that game. He made like the last second tip in over Allen Iverson against the Philadelphia 76ers. So the framework was getting made, and then she kind of was like the plug in to like get forward because but the work was getting done. And that's when they got rid of Rick Carlisle as well. Larry Brown came, and then so it was a lot of momentum getting built. But in terms of the framework, you had Ben, you had Chauncey and Tayshawn the year prior, and then she came. So it's kind of like leaning more towards she.
I hear what you're saying, and in some parts I do agree, but I think she was that player that got us over the hump. And I think even though Tayshawn was a good defender, he was part of the team, he was the glue to the team. I think we could have added another player to take his spot. But I think Rasheed and Ben, being Rasheed and Ben back there, it was hard to score on people coming to the lane and stuff like that. So I think he'll play a bigger role for me. But if I had to pick one of those, I think I'll be for me it'd be more safe to go without Tayshawn. So I would have to go without Tayshawn.
Up until we won that championship back in '04, we were really starting to build that framework as Q was just talking about. But to me, the Pistons just they were a great team, or well, they were shaping up to be a great team. But to me, if we didn't have Rashid, I don't think we would have gotten over that hump. I think we would have been that team that would be good enough to make the playoffs, but not go all the way. If that makes sense. So if I really had to cut one of them, and I had to pick between Tayshawn and Sheed, I would probably cut Tayshawn too. You know, yeah, because Sheed was just that missing piece, and we could have gone with someone else playing the small forward, and I don't think it would have affected us that negatively. But if we don't have Sheed, honestly, I don't think we get the championship.
One last thing. The unsung hero of that championship team was the bench. You had
Yeah.
Corliss Williamson, Mike James, Lindsey Hunter, Mimi Kakur, and Eldon Campbell. That team could have. I mean, they could have started somewhere. Yeah, they wouldn't have been, but that's a starting lineup for somewhere in the NBA. So, I mean, those guys, they were the unsung heroes in that regard
Sure.
as well.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree.
Dang.
Quincy ass. But all right. All
Ah.
right. So
Let's take a look at the Pistons' upcoming schedule. There aren't many left. Courtesy of Best